I power walked down to that pile of gummy bears and back. I should probably set the pile out further, or closer, so I can get at them.
Hey, what's up, pups? Welcome to another episode of the Power Up Podcast. It's a podcast that talks about pop culture. You know, I'm just another guy who likes to give his 2 cents in terms of talking about pop culture. What's good, what's bad, what's ugly, and if the spiritual warfare that takes place happens to rear its head, I'll share some knowledge about that as well. I study scripture, and that's kind of my focus right now, the spiritual warfare that's happening that's taking place in scripture. But hey, hope you guys are doing well. It is Wednesday. It is hump day. So hopefully you guys had a happy hump day. Hump. I like saying that. Hump. But in any case, if you're new to the show and you enjoy it, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure to smash the thumbs up and ring the bell to get notified when I go live, whether that's YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, X. That's what we're on right now. We're on YouTube, Rumble, and X. So you can always follow me there. And then in the description, there's also my other social media listed as well. But I'm just humbled and blessed that you guys take the time to hang out. And as we go over some news, always try to keep ourselves up to date on stuff, you know? But yes, everybody is going crazy from, the old legacy media just because, the Trump deranged syndrome is strong. Everyone's freaking out about it. And then we've got, content creators, independent content creators and whatnot are pretty much replacing legacy media because they just suck. No one trusts them anymore, and they're garbage. So it's fun watching people melt down. Like I think I saw Don Lemons and whatnot. So that's pretty fun. We've got some articles here talking about that. Apparently the Twitch head of policy is one of these guys that freaked out about the election and America and all that stuff, and some other fun topics. So let's hop into it. Anyway, this comes from Video Game Chronicle, and this caught my eye. So apparently, Xbox is building a handheld, but it's likely years away, says Phil Spencer. And according to him, they're working on a handheld prototype. This comes from Video Game Chronicle. So Microsoft's gaming CEO has repeatedly hinted that it could create its own Steam Deck-style Xbox device. And in a new interview with Bloomberg, that seems weird. The executive said that the expectations is that we would do something in the category. Microsoft is working on prototypes and considering what it might do, Spencer confirmed, and he's asked his hardware team to analyze the market and, quote, develop its vision based on what it learns. Any new device is a few years out, he said. What up, Komanga? Say what? Xbox wants that Nintendo money? Apparently so. I mean, why not at this point? You might as well just hop in. So in the near term, Xbox will focus on making its app work better on existing portable devices and partnering with hardware manufacturers to make sure their products sync, he added. Longer term, I love us building devices, Spencer said, and I think our team could do some real innovative work, but we want to be informed by learning and what's happening now. In March, Windows Central claimed Microsoft was working on, quote, a fully native Xbox handheld prototypes. And in a Polygon interview published a few days later, Microsoft Gaming CEO Spencer discussed what he'd like to see in a potential Xbox handheld. The executive returned to the subject during an IGN interview following the summer's Xbox Game Showcase, in which he dropped his biggest hint yet that a handheld could be in the works. When it was put to Spencer that Xbox has been building its business around the strategy of being where the players are, be that on PC or more recently on other console platforms, he said, so we should have a handheld? I think we should have a handheld too. Well, hot diggity dog. But yeah, I guess they are indeed working on it. I mean, did any of you guys grow up with like handhelds? Like, we got the Sega Game Gear. Like, I actually still have our old Game Gear, but we played some games on it. But we all know that the Game Gear, like with its battery, like just crapped out really quickly. Mine actually needs to have its charger replaced or some sort of modding, which could make it work too. Plus, I think the backlighting was awful as well. The Xbox Switch. Yeah, I liked how they used a picture of literally the Switch and just threw on the Microsoft logo. I thought that was funny. But since then, I've been playing a lot of, your Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Nintendo DS. But I mean, really, I mean, to me at this point, you can literally make like a console in handheld size because that's really what the Nintendo Switch is. It can be a handheld or it can be, your main console, depending on how it's set up. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. Devices just suck nowadays, honestly. Everything is just, that charm is just gone. I mean, Nintendo's been pretty good staying up at least with their vision of what they think, a gaming console and stuff like that. You got your Sony and your Microsoft just competing with each other all the time. And now it's just like, just get a console out as quick as possible. And then, later on we'll make a pro version. And it's like, well, just make a good version to start off with. But then again, that's kind of how it was back in the day. But nowadays, it's just get it out as quick as possible and then hopefully band-aid it together, whether with updates or just a pro version down the road. I don't know. I honestly feel, unless it's like mind-blowing, I feel like Xbox is just going to not make really any waves with handhelds because literally, like it said, its own Steam Deck Xbox device, just get a Steam Deck then, or just get a gaming laptop. But there you go. Let me know what you guys think about Xbox thinking about making a handheld game. Quite interesting. Coming over from Video Game Chronicles as well. This caught my eye. Hundreds of Bethesda employees strike over remote work and outsourcing policies. So Fallout and Elder Scrolls developers in Maryland and Texas hold a one-day strike. Oh no, Texas. Texas is a right-to-work state. Oh, I've heard this before, like when Eric was working at Funimation at the time, and the people that I knew over there at the time too, they mentioned people from LA trying to come over and convert the Texas to start a union and stuff like that. So I find that absolutely hilarious. I find that absolutely hilarious. Sorry, I'm checking something real quick. But let's see what they're doing. Let's see what convince me. Hundreds of Bethesda employees are striking today over remote work and outsourcing concerns they claim Microsoft has failed to address. So workers in Maryland and Texas are holding a one-day strike, just one day, after filing an unfair labor complaint against parent company ZeniMax in October, Inverse reports. They represent the second largest video game union in the U.S., which was formed in January 2023 and includes over 300 quality assurance workers. The strike is designed to encourage Microsoft. I love the word like encourage Microsoft. No, you want them to force them to follow your weird ideology in terms of like what a union is and stuff like that. I've said it before. Unions are made to sound good, but unless you're like the cream of the crop and you're high up there, you're going to get shit on. Like they claim they care about the little people, but no. In fact, I think I saw might have been over at that Park Place. We have some articles pulled up there, or it might have just been on X, like Sydney Sweeney talking about like Hollywood, where it's like, women empowering women. I guess Sydney Sweeney's like, no, that's not happening. It's the same garbage with union. They claim it's for the greater good, but the only people who benefit from it in the end are the people on top or already established. So, according to the union, ZeniMax workers are currently required to go to the office twice a week, but it claims many are being denied their remote work request. Yeah, because COVID is over. So, if you can come in, then you should do it. And it's only twice a week. Really? I mean, I work 100% remote, but we're all over, like, the states. So additionally, it's seeking to limit the percentage of quality assurance testers ZeniMax outsources in comparison to the number of full-time workers present in a bargaining unit. Following its $69 billion acquisition of activist Blizzard last year, Xbox cut more than 2,500 jobs and closed 4 Bethesda games development studios. So the Xbox business has never been more healthy. Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer told Bloomberg in an interview published today. He also said Xbox is still open to more acquisition, that it's not ruling out bringing any first-party games to PS5 or Switch, and that Xbox is building a handheld. Hey, we just read about that. Oh, that's literally all this article was. Well, that didn't really go into detail about what they were asking. Like, pretty much just like, yeah, we don't want to come in 2 times a week. And it's like, okay, why can't you do that? And limiting the percentage of quality assurance testers. ZeniMax outsources in comparison to the number of full-time workers present in its bargaining unit. I don't know. I think it's funny. Is Maryland a right-to-work state? Maryland is not a right-to-work state. While it doesn't have a specific right-to-work law, union security agreements may be enforced requiring employees to pay union dues or fees. Okay, so I find it interesting. Texas, I can understand. They always come after Texas for being a right-to-work state. Maryland, I wasn't so sure. Well, there you go. I mean, at this point, unfortunately, articles like this, I don't really feel any heartstring, my heartstring being tugged. Just because we see this happening all the time. And then you got down here Microsoft being like, oh, yeah, we're, not giving a crap. Like, oh, yeah, we're going to acquire more studios down the road. Like, we don't care. And then when it doesn't work out, we'll just fire them. Come on, God. Bethesda. It just works. Boop. I don't know why it's not showing. I don't know why it's not showing the picture. Says all. I could have sworn it showed like people's profile pictures. Oh, Rumble Studio. Slowly getting stuff done. But there you go. That one caught my eye. I mean, there was a lot of articles I could have picked, but I found a lot of interesting ones I'd rather talk about in terms of like, these ones right here. But it's always funny to hear. Like, for example, Disney Snow White actress Rachel Zegler wishes supporters of Donald Trump never know peace. Amazing. The disconnect that these celebrity has, especially Rachel, is mind-boggling. Like, what year was she born? I saw some weird, I think it's true. It's like she's doing a movie where it's taking place in like the 2000s or something. Like Fred Durst is in there. Bad move by Fred Durst. And like someone like Rachel Zegler, who's like got casted to represent. Let's see. She's 23. She was born in 2001. So she did grow up probably more in the late 2000s, obviously. What was the Y2K? Yeah, here it is. Y2K. Apparently, it's an American disaster comedy film. It's about the bug crash. Oh, brother. Fred Durst as himself. But he looks old, though. I wonder if they, like, digitally aged him down. Or up. Age up, right? Or age down. Made him younger. That's what I'm trying to get at. If they made him younger. Because right now, he doesn't look the greatest. I mean, he looks fine, but if he's trying to represent himself back in 2000s. So anyway, this comes from Fandom Pulse. So Rachel Zegler, who will play Snow White in the upcoming Disney live-action movie. We've been seeing this forever. When is this movie going to come out? Because I'm tired of seeing, like, on how much this is a big pile of garbage. Because she already ruined it. Like, this movie's going to fail so bad exactly because of her. And this isn't helping. So she expressed her desire that supporters of Donald Trump and Donald Trump himself, quote, never know peace. And post her Instagram stories, which were shared to X by My Nerdy Home, Zegler stated, I think that's Steph, stated, I find myself speechless in the midst of this. Another 4 years of hatred. I mean, we all know, at this point, we know where the hatred comes from, and it ain't from us. Okay, we just want to be left the hell alone. Leaning us towards a world I do not want to live in. There's hotlines for that if you're feeling that way. I mean, if Harris would have been elected, like, it would have been obviously crappy, but I wouldn't be spurring out like this. Leaning us towards a world that will be hard to raise my daughter in. Wait, does she even have a daughter, or she's like, you know, like, honestly, at this point, who would ever want to get with you? Having to deal, literally, I feel sorry for guy or girl, because, I mean, we see how these weirdos go about nowadays. But then again, I mean, that leads down a whole nother rabbit hole. Because I don't think she's married. Yeah, she's only 23. Okay, for some reason, I just wanted to make sure that, like, I wasn't going crazy. So she's speaking hypothetically. Which, your daughter would be fine. Let's be real. Leaning us towards a world that will force her to have a baby she doesn't want to. Well, there are plenty of ways to avoid not having a baby you don't want. Keep your legs shut, condom, birth control, abstinence, the pill. I mean, there's 4 right there. Get married. You know, the fact that these people, like, the list of things to prevent having a child you didn't want, and your go-to is, yeah, I want to murder that baby, blows my absolute mind. And the disgusting mental gymnastics they do to, like, justify themselves is pathetic. Leading us toward a world that is fearful. She knows absolutely nothing. Zegler, stop it. Get some help. I know. She continued, I shouldn't be shocked, but I am. I am heartbroken for my friends who awoke fear this morning. Who awoke to fear this morning? Oh, my gosh. And she can't even capitalize. Heartbroken for my friends who awoke fear this morning, and I am here with you to cry, to yell, to hug, to wax poetic on how the left continue to fail us in forging a new path forward. The fact that you labeled yourself as the left showcases that that's the side you identify with too. But then read the writing on the wall. Like, they do not care about you whatsoever. You are expendables. You are the expendables. When they fail, like they did here by taking it from 1 to banana in terms of retardation and stupid ideology, When they failed and realized the people said no and said no more of that bullshit, they threw you away. Look at how all these people, like, look at the politicians who just don't care. Like, once it's done. Like, Harris doesn't care anymore. She doesn't care. She said her, like, yeah, I'll concede, you know, I'll concede to it and stuff like that. And now she's done. She's over. You guys were expendable. You're dead to him. Like, move on. Like, wake the hell up. This loss should not have been. Oh, no. It definitely needed to happen. And I'm glad that it did happen. And I'm glad that so many people, you know, are melting down at this point because they need to melt down, because they need to wake up from reality. And of course, some people wake up to reality. Some people, you've probably seen them. They're like, well, we just need to push harder. Go ahead and do that, because it ain't going to work. Because it didn't work this time. It's not going to work the next time. And it certainly should not have been by so many votes. Oh, that's the icing on the cake right there. That is the icing on the cake. The votes showed that red wave just crashing down upon you was the biggest eye-opener to these fools, and I am so happy that it happened. I echo Ethel Kane's statement more than anything. May Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace, Ziegler declared. Well, Rachel Ziegler, let's see you hum this same tune when the good Lord comes back, because he's not going to be happy. In fact, when he does come back, his robe is going to be splattered with blood already from the battling that he's doing. And he's going to be continuing the murking. And when that begins to happen, you'll be wishing there would be peace. Like, these fools, they have no fucking clue what they're talking about. They have no idea how bad it's going to get down the road. Of course, these people will be participating in the new Babylon. And they'll be brainwashed into, you know, expecting the destroyer to come, you know, the Antichrist, going to convince tons of people to prepare for war, establish the fake Armageddon, and then the real Armageddon is going to happen and stuff like that. So dumb. In another post, Ziegler wrote, there is also a deep, deep sickness in this country that is shown in the sheer amount of people who showed up for this man who threatens our democracy. It is terrifying the number of people who stand behind what this man preaches. It is a foolish subscription to a false sense of security. Dude, 100% projection from this bitch. Like, 100% projection. It is absolutely amazing. Of masculinity, you don't know what masculinity is. Your side certainly doesn't know what masculinity is, because you can't even tell what a woman is. Of intelligence, of patriotism, and of humanity. She continued, there's no help, no console in any of them. I could go on, I won't. I feel sad. You probably do too. Fuck this. She also encouraged her followers to leave X, get off of Elon's app, by the way. The fuck are you doing? They're eating you up on Twitter. I don't use that app for a reason. Yeah, because you get owned every time. Because you're not you guys are not the loud minority anymore. You're just silenced now in terms of being shown that you're wrong. Obviously, you can say whatever you want, you know, free speech and everything, but people see through your bullshit. See, that's the thing. Develop tough skin. When you learn to develop tough skin, you can ignore the people that are weirdos like Rachel here, and then also find people that you can get along with just fine. Remember, these are the people that took everything, that made everything black and white. They say Trump did it. No, Trump just brought up the insanity that we're building inside of these people. That's the real issue. I don't use that app for a reason. He helped get that man elected, and you're giving him business. I was talking about finding a catharsis in art. I don't care what your retarded rap that you did that clearly didn't help influence the election. I don't care if you're going to pick a fight with me. It's been done before. Find something real to be mad about today. How about, oh my gosh, there's plenty to go around. And look at this, like still going on. Holy crap. Still another post she wrote. Okay, that's all. Going on stage for Act 2 now and needed to get off my soapbox before I get too heated. Look at that. My soapbox. Blah, 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 blah. Me. Every fucking time. Sending love to everyone who needs it today, she added, may we all carry each other through the worst and hold these politicians accountable. Your Dem govs just got very important. No, they didn't. They already were, but hey, follow your governors, hold them accountable. Local government is where we will make real changes. This is not the end, ever. Local government? That's literally what Trump did with Roe versus Wade being turned over. It literally gave it back to the local government. But you took it as, oh, I can't murder a kid anymore. I'm so upset. My body, my choice. I will love through these 4 years as best I can. Well, you're already starting off very, very poorly. She concluded, fuck Donald Trump. Look at that. You failed in like one sentence. This is unsurprising from Ziegler. She made her hatred clear in numerous posts on X back in 2021. She wrote, girls don't want boys. Girls want Trump to cry in his bunker over Twitter drama. Another post on the same day, she wrote, I will miss telling Trump to shut the fuck up too. Maybe I'll just randomly tweet it for no reason. I'm sure that he will have to shut the fuck up in real life too. Oh, well, look who's shutting the fuck up now. Because you're not on X anymore, baby cakes. And then again, fuck Donald Trump. What do you make of Ziegler comments about Donald Trump and his supporters? I mean, total Nazi mindset. Let's be real here. It's always been this way. The left have always been the real Nazis, like throughout history. They always claim that they're not, but you look at the way they talk, you look at the way they project everything onto others. This is the same tactic they have done many, many times. That's why they can't define women, because they redefine it so that it's very subjective, so that when they get in trouble, they can weasel their way out of it, being like, well, I didn't mean it that way, disinformation, like misinformation for them is making a simple mistake, but misinformation from the enemy is punishable, that everything should be stripped away from them. So that Park Place also covered Ziegler having a complete meltdown. So flying off on the handle in the wake of the president-elect Donald Trump's victory over Vice President Kamala Harris, Ziegler apparently posted parts of a long tirade maligning and appearing to wish harm or misfortune on the incoming president and the 75.5 million Americans who voted for him. That's what they think about you. This is what these weirdos think about you. 75.5 million Americans, literally, theoretically, I was going to say literally, but that's not true. But maybe someone has, and we just don't know about it. Symbolically, in that red wave, a giant middle finger appeared out of nowhere and said, fuck you to everybody. To every woke and libtard out there. And they probably also called them
gay
as well. That's what happened. And these people cannot handle it. I find myself speechless. Another 4 years of hatred leading us towards a world. Oh, yeah. So kind of reporting what we just read. Hollywood actress has yet to appear in a successful film, then describes what she refers to as a deep, deep sickness in this country over the overwhelming amount of people who showed up to vote for President-elect Trump before calling him a threat to democracy. It's a foolish subscription to a false sense of security, of masculinity, and of intelligence, of patriotism, and of humanity, she said, essentially chalking up Trump's win to who she feels are insecure, stupid American men. It should be noted, for clarity's sake, that Trump won 46% of the female vote. Yeah. So get wrecked. Play that rock clip for Ziegler. Oh, yeah. This is true as well. We gotta tease ourselves up for it, you know. There is no help, no counsel in any of them, Ziegler said, continuing to malign fellow Americans who disagree with her politically. I could go on, I won't. She then goes on. Ziegler attacks from American voters to ex-owner and world's richest man, Elon Musk. Get off of Elon's, Elon's app. The fuck you doing? You're eating up your Twitter. I don't use that app for a reason. He helped get the man elected, and you're giving him business. She then proceeds to get more heated and ending her tirade with "fuck Donald Trump," to which we can respond by
"Shut up, bitch!"
There you go. That's what we can say to Rachel Zegler. This latest Rachel Zegler controversy was incendiary and insulted more than half of the country. In the wake of her seemingly endless stream of venom, wait a minute, we have a venom of ourselves. We have Venom Greg, and he has very, very spiritual words of wisdom. I don't think it could be said any better than that, to be honest. So in the wake of her seemingly endless stream of venom, many heads turned to Disney with a raised eyebrow. Disney and Lucasfilms fired Star Wars actress Gina Carano for her critically acclaimed role in The Mandalorian because she shared a meme on Twitter that drew a comparison between how liberals turn on and demonize conservatives and how the German people turned on their neighbor during the rise of the Nazi Party. It's because it's true. There's a reason why it was called the National Socialist Workmen's Party or something. Of course, that definition doesn't really mean, that socialism is different, they always say. Excuse me. Let's get the right wording. The National Socialist Germans Workers' Party. There you go. That's what formed into Nazis. What up, Scotty? Socialism is just a stepping stone for communism. Also, bless you. Thank you. And yes, this is true. That's the other thing they don't want to admit. Is socialism and communism is literally the different sides of the same coin. And they just try to pass it off over to the other side. It's always the same thing, too. They are brothers in the most literal sense. Yes, they are. These people are brown and black shirts, man. So it's important to note that Carano had simply shared a meme without commentary. Zegler went on a profanity-laced tirade in which he appeared to wish misfortune on half the country. Yet Carano was vilified and fired, while Zegler's retarded Snow White will come out in theaters next year, with the star likely going on press tours and being celebrated by the company. Oh, I don't think she'll be celebrated. I think she's fucked up one too many times. Because she changed her tune when all of a sudden, like, the dwarves got animated, and then all of a sudden, now she's like, oh yeah, Snow White's all about this. Like, because I think her PR hopefully yelled at her and said, shut your damn mouth and just promote the damn movie, because you're done fucking it up one too many times. Many wonder whether the outburst by Zegler will actually help Carano, who is suing Disney for wrongful termination and discrimination. Oh, I hope so. This is far from the first time Rachel Zegler had created controversy for the House of Mouse. That live action thing is still happening. Ugh, I know. You would think it'd just be out at this point, or maybe they would just secretly just scrap it away. So while speaking to the press, she attacked the original Disney animated classic Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, lambasted the love story, referring to it as weird. Yep. And we've read this from the past. So interesting in Zegler's live-action Snow White, seems to have already hit extreme lows. The film's trailer has a stunning like to dislike ratio on Disney's official YouTube account with 96,000 likes and over 1.3 million dislikes. Ouch. She was on screen for a few seconds. What do you make of the latest Rachel Zegler controversy? I think, once again, she is going completely retarded. I hope they just don't... Yeah, right there. I don't know. I kind of wish Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs goes the way of Assassin's Creed Shadows, where they keep delaying it and wasting more money. Like, to me, that'd be hilarious. Like, a lot of people say, like, cancel it. Like, what they did with Assassin's Creed Shadows. People were saying, like, cancel it, you know. There's that petition, get it canceled. I don't want it to see canceled. I want it to forever be in development hell and to where money is constantly being put into it to fix the problems and just keeps delaying it further. Like, I want them to lose as much money as possible to the point where for them trying to save it is such a losing battle, but yet somehow the checks still keep getting written. That's what I want to see. All right, so one of the main articles here that caught my eye that I saw on X as well as on Fandom Pulse here is the Twitch head of policy, this dude, policy outreach and education, says America is a racist country. So again, the theme apparently for these articles that we're reading today is that Trump deranged syndrome is going strong. But I think it's finally losing steam because their minds have been completely shattered that, you know, once again, Trump got elected. Being the first person to apparently have served 3 consecutive times in a row. That's a joke, by the way. Because he was there in 2016. Technically, he was the president with Biden. And now he is for sure the next president coming up. So this is A. Gerard Jenkins. Twitch is a dumpster fire. It is. I still stream on it now and then because I've gotten some, what would it be, subscriptions or donations or whatever you want to call it, but it's been a while. But then again, I'm not a big fan of, I've tried Kick and I haven't grown over there at all. I'm in like a weird limbo currently where I'm trying to break over my, what do I have, like 12K? Trying to break through my 12K because a lot of people followed my channel because of the pigeon videos, but they're gone, which is fine. You know, it wasn't what my channel was going to be about anyway. So I'd rather have people that would are just interested in what I have to say and be concurrent as opposed to just, you know, the dead sub count. So this guy, A. Jared Jenkins, head of the policy outreach and education at Twitter, decried America as a racist country and claimed that America makes it difficult for women. 100% not true. As we just saw, 46% of females voted for Trump. Kick is for those who are booted from Twitch. Yeah, and I feel like I got views there like the minute Kick started off, but after that, I feel the only people who grow on Kick are people who already have a following. A strong enough following that they can migrate over there. I mean, if you can multi-stream, that's good. Libs of TikTok shared a TikTok video of Jenkins' reaction to the election of President Donald Trump as the 47th president of the United States, writing on X, "Meet Artist Jenkins, the head of global policy and customer support at Twitch." She continued. He goes on an anti-white rant, of course, says America is a racist country, and blasts Trump and his supporters as bigots and misogynists. These words mean nothing. These words have been thrown around so many times. This means absolutely nothing. And the fact that these retards don't get it is it's not so much mind-boggling anymore, but it's hilariously retarded. Like me using the word right there, retarded. Now we say it and we just laugh and, you know, find it funny because that's how we talked back in the day. You know, I'm a 90s, early 2000s kid. You know, that's how we talked. And If you had thick skin, didn't mean a damn thing. You could just ignore it and go on with it. But when these people hear it, they freak out. And they, it's, bigot, misogynist, xenophobe, all the isms out there. And they just mean nothing anymore. And the ultimate irony being that usually the people who scream this out the loudest are the ones that are indeed the real bigots and misogynistic, because it's 100% projection. So what does CEO Dan Clancy stand for this? Or why does CEO Dan Clancy stand for this? So there's your picture right there. So in the video, Jenkins states, like the saying goes, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. 2016 was not a fluke. Donald Trump is the most American president we've ever had, and he reflects who America really is. America is a racist country. America is a country that will prioritize a white candidate who is riddled with controversy and inadequacy and racism and bigotry over a highly qualified woman. She was not qualified. Dude, are you just so unaware of what she has been doing as the vice president? Literally nothing. And over a highly qualified person of color. If you're voting, again, if you're voting for someone literally based on the color of their skin, that tells us who the real sexist is. That tells us who the real bigot is, who the real racist is. Because these people analyze life through that lens. What race is involved? What color, what ethnicity is involved? What gender are they? What sexual orientation are they? This is how they break down events that happen in their life. That's how they look through life. And then they scream and yell at you for not viewing life that way. They are broken clocks that happen to be right twice a day, discarding AM and PM. But the fact is they're trying to make you use their broken clock to tell time. When that is literally not how it works. That is not how reality works. Later in the video, he said, the fact is there is no shortage of men and unfortunately women in this country who don't want to see women win. They don't want to see women lead. They don't want to see women have agencies over their own body. They do, again, out of the list of ways to avoid having a baby without, hey, I want to murder that child, being apparently the go-to one every single time, which is weird. They do have control over their own body. They do. They've had it for a long, long time. It's just apparently now, since Orange Badman from 2016 brought out the skeletons in a lot of these people's closets, now it's a problem, and therefore, we got to take care of this. It's terrifying because I see all women have to endure it. Not everyone, again, victim mentality. And you're a man. How dare you express what you think women feel? Very, very sexist of you. My wife is working professional, and she had to endure not one, but 2 C-sections. Fortunately, we're a dual tech income household, and we have some of the best health insurance that money can buy. But the reality is most people aren't so privileged. Look at that right there. Look at that. Well, what does this have to do with over their own bodies? It sounded like you wanted to have kids and you couldn't do it au naturel, so you had to do the C-section. I love this. We have the best healthcare ever. But reality, dude, the disingenuousness, like in this statement, is amazing. So in addition to be able to afford a C-section, we also have the privilege to have paid paternal leave. And as you all may know, America is the only first world country without paid maternity leave. And I can go on and on about how America makes it difficult to be a woman, but everyone knows that. It's just that no one seems to care, Jenkins concludes. Oh no, go on with it. See, I love this too. I love this cop-out answer too. Like, you all know this, right? No. I know plenty of people who had paid maternity leave. Don't know what you're talking about. And I can go on and on about how America makes it be but everyone knows that. No, fucking explain it. You took the time to make the stupid rant. Go on and explain why. The answer is he can't. Because these are just empty shouting points. Just that no one seems to care. Oh, except me. I'm the only one that cares. Oh, that's why I made this video post. Wait, what? Hard drive editor Matt Fresh calls Gamergates losers, Nazis, and says you should Minecraft yourself. I think I've seen this, and this guy's a huge fag. Jenkins also expressed anti-white sentiments in a subsequent video where he stated, the reality is, in the United States, there will never be a world in which anyone other than white men have power. The best we can do is actually support people who have influence with other people who can have influence. How about you go to Africa and tell this to the African tribes that probably captured your ancestors and then sold it to the white man? Notice how they never really talk about that. And literally what the Native Americans did before the white people set foot on America. They were murdering each other left and right, cannibalizing, baby killing, straight up Sodom and Gomorrah stuff. And these people will never talk about it. Same thing with where their ancestry took place and how they were captured and stuff. That's the part of history they don't want you to know, is the fact that other African tribes captured the weaker African tribes and then sold them later. They don't want to tell you that because it destroys their narrative. So you can find that video. But again, talking points we have heard many, many times without really explaining why, because as we saw later on down here, I could go on, but, everyone knows it. Cop-out answer. The Haitians ate whatever was available to them? Yep. Yep-a-roo. So this article from that Park Place caught my eye. Citizen journalists and independent content creators become the new media America turns to. You are the media now. That's the message. You are the purveyors of truth and sentiment. Social media influencers, bloggers, Substack writers, YouTubers, and Rumbler creators. You are the news. Yes, the slaves who were sent were sold by other tribes for bribes. Yes. But speaking directly to voters, friends, and neighbors, rather than to the media, you changed the results last Tuesday as Donald Trump won the U.S. president election. And once again, Elon Musk sparked a trend on his X platform, which spread like wildfire. The legacy media that paid off pundits and the three companies that own 99.9% of the media in this country will now have to pivot toward telling the truth. For the next few years, one message will prevail. You are the media. This shift was made possible by Elon Musk's $44 billion purchase on Twitter. At the same time, it was a platform mirrored in censorship and suppression. He transformed it into X, a platform that celebrates free speech. While information was stifled under a government-led propaganda machine with the support of Jack Dorsey, Elon set out to dismantle the mess. He restored as much free speech as possible and continued pressure from NGOs that forced advertisers to fold and disappear. As a result, people can now better distinguish between truth and government narratives spun by heavily compromised legacy media. Citizen journalists took action. James O'Keefe, for instance, reestablished his efforts with OMG after Veritas was captured, reminding everyone, you are the media now. YouTubers, Rumbler ranters, and streamers on other platforms rally around this call. It's a rallying cry to practice a different kind of citizen journalism, one based on asking questions, probing facts, and sharing media clips. This citizen-driven perspective has allowed everyone to see stories and people in a new light. You are the media now is a fitting mantra because after these election results, it has never been more true. A defining feature of this election cycle is the sharp decline in public trust of mainstream or legacy media. Public sees them as shills for globalist agendas with dwindling audiences that mock them more than listen. How much influence do they have in 2024? At least 25% less than in previous years. Perhaps even more based on the viewership drop during election night coverage. By state outcomes, their influence likely had a net negative effect. In fact, the mainstream media's 90% negative coverage of the former president for 4 years after he left office was, to put it kindly, detrimental. And then you have the evolution of citizen journalism, events and Trump's appearances on platforms like Joe Rogan, broadcasters' reach of figures like J.D. Vance, while Kamala Harris sidestepped any real media exposure outside controlled interviews. Trump, in conversations with Joe Rogan, a former Bernie supporter, no less, secured a powerful endorsement. The media landscape has irrevocably changed, with new media challenging the elite's former monopoly on public attention. That monopoly is gone, and as the establishment once said themselves, that is a good thing. People have realized the mainstream narrative often serve only to mislead. The majority have seen enough coverage to recognize how they are demonized by any agenda-driven machine, pushing authoritarian dogma. If you stray from this orthodoxy, you risk being ostracized, unpersoned, and falsely accused of whatever charges they can make stick. This has bred such distrust that most no longer believe a word from legacy outlets. Once upon a time, journalists aimed to set aside biases, pursuing truth and facts. Today, there's a little pursuit of truth, no real investigation, and no willingness to challenge ingrained beliefs. Instead, journalists push ideological narratives to achieve political goals. Mainstream media won't admit this, but everyone can see it, and the public is exhausted by it. Holy moly, it's a long article. But I'm definitely liking how this is going, for sure. Look, I got independent channels, Valiant Renegade, Neurotic, D-Day Cobra, The Quartering, Tim Pool. But yeah, I'm liking this article a lot. Very solid. I liked just a very uplifting and encouraging talk about it. So, Scotty says, heading off for now. Windows won't stop bugging me to update. Best of luck. Aye, that's Gary from Neurotic. Yay. There he was. But, yeah. It's an opinion piece, but a really solid opinion piece. So hats off to that Park Place for writing that. But I want to end on more uplifting notes here. Like, for example, from Video Game Chronicle, GOG Preservation Program aims to keep old games playable on modern PCs. 100 classic games have been relisted on GOG with updated or quality-tested builds. So GOG has announced a new preservation program designed to ensure that classic games remain playable on modern systems forever. So apparently, 100 classic games from its catalogs are being re-released today with updated or quality test builds. And GOG is committed to using its own resources to maintain their compatibility with modern PCs. So on the GOG store, games included in the preservation program are identified with a dedicated stamp, and players can see how GOG has worked to update each title by looking at its preservation log. The first compatible certified games included entries in the Resident Evil, cool, Warcraft, Dragon Age, Fallout, System Shock, I need to play System Shock, Diablo, Heroes of Might and Magic, Dungeon Keeper, The Witcher, and Monkey Island franchises. GOG said it plans to keep adding more games to the preservation program over time. It has also shared a statistic from the Video Game History Foundation, which claims that 87% of games created before 2010 are inaccessible today. That is garbage, and we need to fix it. It was recently announced that the PC version of the coming remaster of Croc, Legend of the Gobos, will be exclusive to GOG. The game is currently available to wishlist on the store page, and it is set for release later this year. That sounds absolutely amazing. Good job, GOG. Glad to see it. It'd be nice to see GOG take off in terms of Steam, because you can actually keep the stuff. So we got the stories down here. Just looking to see good old games. Ooh, Earthworm Jim. But very cool. So preserved good old games by GOG. So I guess that's the stamp right here. But good job. Like I said, GOG, super excited to see it. I know for me, I want to use GOG more. I just got a lot of stuff on Steam. So very cool. So last article for tonight is Niche Gamer exploring the evolution of gaming from retro console to virtual reality. So this caught my eye. The world of gaming has come a long way since the early days of pixelated graphics and simple gameplay mechanics. The journey from 8-bit console to hyper-realistic virtual reality, VR, has not only shaped the industry but also expanded its fan base and changed the way people perceive entertainment. As technology continues to evolve, so does the potential for immersive experiences, making gaming one of the most exciting fields in digital entertainment today. And then we get a brief history of gaming, starting with the classic games in the late 1970s and early 1980s, such as Pac-Man, Space Invaders, and Donkey Kong. These simple yet addictive games laid the foundation for an industry that has since grown into a global phenomenon. The introduction of home consoles like the Atari 2600 and the Nintendo Entertainment System, NES, revolutionized gaming by bringing it into the households worldwide. Fast forward to the early 2000s, I just threw early in there, but and gaming technology advanced with the introduction of consoles like the PS2, the Xbox, the GameCube. These platforms brought improved graphics, more complex gameplay mechanics, and online connectivity, further expanding the gaming audience. Today, we live in an era dominated by high-definition graphics, multiplayer gaming, and VR. The influence of online gaming and casinos. And as gaming's become more connected, the line between video game and other forms of online entertainment begin to blur. You have online casinos in particular have become a popular digital escape for many. Much like the thrill of multiplayer gaming, online casinos offer a unique experience, combining strategy, luck, and social interactions. And then there's a website right there. Available resources for players looking to find the latest casino offer, adding an additional layer of excitement to online gaming. I'm assuming can you actually like gamble? I'm assuming so. These platforms appeal to those seeking the thrill of gambling from the comfort of their own home, offering games such as poker, slots, and blackjack with real money stakes. Oh, that's answered my question. I mean, I kind of figured, but I never really done it. So, online casinos have adapted to the evolving gaming landscape, incorporating themes and gameplay mechanics similar to those found in traditional video games to engage a broader audience. Then you've got the rise of mobile gaming. It significantly impacted the gaming industry, particularly by making games more accessible. Smartphones now a part of everyday life. Mobile games have grown quickly. Candy Crush, Sega, Clash of Clans, Pokemon Go have turned millions of casual users into gamers, expanding the gaming community like never before. Mobile games are often designed to be easy to play in short bursts, making them perfect for the on-the-go entertainment. Moreover, advancements in mobile technology have enabled players to create sophisticated and graphically rich games, rivaling some consoles and PC experiences. With innovation like cloud gaming, players can now stream high-quality games directly to their devices. Excuse me while I scratch my nose, eliminating the need for powerful hardware. And then we reach virtual reality, the future of gaming. I kind of hope not, because now we're getting into, chips and brains sort of thing. VR technology promises an unparalleled level of immersion, allowing players to step directly into the world they explore. Devices like the Oculus Rift, PlayStation VR, and HTC Vive. VR gaming is becoming increasingly accessible is to reshape how people experience digital entertainment. While VR is still evolving, developers are experimenting with ways to fully leverage its potential, from horror games to make players feel generally frightened to adventure games that place them on a breathtaking, realistic landscape. VR brings a new depth of storytelling and gameplay. Although technology still has some limitations, such as high cost and motion sickness for some users, its potential is enormous, with many industries experts predicting that VR will become a standard gaming platform in the future. And what lies ahead? The future of gaming looks increasingly promising with ongoing advancements in AI, that's artificial intelligence, augmented reality, and the ever-growing esports scene. Those innovations will likely change not only how games are played, but also how they are created and consumed. AI, for instance, is set to enhance the gaming experience by creating more responsive and realistic non-player character types, NPCs, while AR could blend the virtual and real worlds even further. It's come a long way from arcades of the past, and each new technology leap promises even more excitement and innovation. As the industry continues to grow, players of all ages can look forward to a future filled with groundbreaking experiences. I miss the old days. I mean, I could care less about virtual reality or augmented reality, or even AI, really. But it is interesting to see how far we've come. So, very good evolution of gaming. Good job, Niche Gamer. I enjoyed that. And we will wind down on what games were released today. Final Fantasy, oh boy. What is that? 9, I believe. Yeah, 9. Final Fantasy 9, Azure Dreams, Skies of Arcadia, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon. Ooh, Assassin's Creed, Contra 4, Crysis. Hey, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 was released today. Very nice. Ooh, Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops Plus. I actually still need to play that Metal Gear Solid game. We've got Resident Evil The Umbrella Chronicles. It's got some Mega Man Star Force 3. Ooh, Way of the Samurai 3. I actually been wanting to play the Way of the Samurai games too. Super Mario Land. 3D Land. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Okay. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Spyro Reignited Trilogy. You got your Black Ops Cold War. And Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. Can it run Crysis? Yeah, you can play Crysis. My PC should easily be able to run Crysis. No. So over at Moby Games, you have Mylon Secret Castle from Japan. I just saw that because of the nerd. That is hilarious. That is funny. Revenge of Shinobi for the Game Boy Advance apparently was released. WWE SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth for PlayStation 2. Yeah. I used to play a bunch of wrestling games, then kind of fell out of it. The Italian version of Beyond Good and Evil was released. There you go. Budokai 2. Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2 for Germany. There you go. There you go. A lot of people do not like the Budokai 2 game. I played the crap out of it. I enjoyed it. Doop-a-doop. Call of Duty Black Ops 2, PlayStation 3. Man, played the crap out of that game too. I loved Black Ops 1 and 2. Man, I kind of fell out of Call of Duty. So we had a lot of good games from Game Facts. Hitman 2 released on Steam worldwide. Too bad. Yeah, I think we're pretty much at the end. Yep. There you guys go. So, some good articles. I really liked a lot of the articles we read today. Some of it pathetically stupid. You know, the politics, obviously. But other stuff looking good. But that's all I have for you tonight, folks. So thanks again for hanging out. Make sure to leave a like on the video. If you're new, feel free to subscribe and turn on notifications to get notified when I go live. We were on YouTube, X, and Rumble today. So appreciate you guys coming to hang out. That is all we have. So thanks for hanging out, Komanga. See you later. You guys have a good rest of your night. Take care. God bless. Catch you on the flip side. Until then, should be online tomorrow. Peace.